In sports, a young player lost to injury is heartbreaking. It leaves a permanent mark on the psyche of fans and the history of the game. The question is always, what could have been? But what about a player lost to negligence and a lack of support?
The public perception is backward. Like, the public perception goes like this. Everything was fine, hunky-dory with this guy in EG. He was having a great time, but then suddenly in the low bracket, the playoffs, he had some issues, and so what he did is he played out this last game, and then he said, you know what, we're at Worlds, I have to take time out. If you listen to the way Peter Dunn explained it, it's almost like, again, he didn't spin it on the org, but it sounds like this guy wanted to quit way earlier than that, maybe even way earlier in plus, maybe even before playoffs, if you listen.
He could have been a legend, should have been a legend, but instead is never to return. His name is Danny. Let's talk about it.
Since I can do this now, it feels very surreal to me. I'm a part of Evil Geniuses now.
He definitely, like I said, has the personality and the skills to be a success.
It feels special because not a lot of people get to play on the LCS stage.
He's a player that has impressed a lot of the other veterans that we have. And I think that even people that have seen him in Proving Grounds have maybe not seen the true potential that this player has.
To get to LCS and then eventually maybe go to Worlds with my LCS team, that would be my very happy goal.
With Danny joining the roster, the team showed promise. They showed a clear playstyle of proactivity and side laning while funneling resources into Danny ahead of team fights. Because that was Danny's specialty. Although he wasn't a particularly strong laner, his team fighting was a thing of legend. In fact, you could argue Danny in his first split in the LCS already had a few of the greatest individual outplays or highlight clips of any player in the league.
They're trying to poke down and heal back up with their Ocean Soul. Impact, though, gets engaged on his back. Gets jumped, the stun is on, they're gonna find him, he's gonna zone him for a second. Shady's gonna drop 1 for 0, stop for Poppy for a second, and the front line goes inspired, and that means they're gonna get the kill. Down goes Kaido, and that means the fight is over. A quadra kill for Danny. Welcome to the LCS, Zeri. Danny gets another pentakill. 100% of Zeri games have resulted in pentas for Danny. They've got to run. They've got to run. No, Danny steps up, and Danny shuts down one. Mid laner is dead, though, and it's going to be another kill in. Danny is doing it all. Danny shuts down FBI. The Rookie of the Year puts his team on his back. But he's 1 versus 2. Someday in Abadaga can only watch him knock down the wave as they can't push the base without minions. And Danny single-handedly keeps EG in the upper bracket. It's Danny versus the world. It's Danny versus the 100 Thieves. And Danny's gonna get 1. Danny could get 2. Holy God, he's so damn good at this game. Damn, Danny, he does it again.
They were eliminated in the playoffs, and the team finished the split 5th to 6th place. But still, Danny's promise became apparent as he took home Rookie of the Split honors, as well as a position on the 2nd LCS All-Pro team, in his very first split. Expectations for what EG and Danny himself could become only grew in the subsequent split. Contracts Svenskeren, Jizuki, and Ignar left the team. In their place came Inspired from Rogue, Vulcan from Cloud9, and hyped up prospect from Evil Geniuses Academy, Jojo Pyun. The only constant from the previous roster being Impact and Danny himself. The expectations for this roster of talented rookies and quality veterans were high. Starting the lock-in tournament, it seemed those expectations were going to be met. The team started 9-0, with Danny himself having many highlight reel performances, including an incredible pentakill.
Gonna find its target. Looks like it's a sidestep there for Jojo Pyun. So no kills, and now Tony top too far up in the river to shut down. Then it's time to run away. Sure, TF might be gone, but can he win this one? Decent damage out of Victor. Chime still trying to frontline. Right now, Stixley trying to lifesteal back up, but the rest of his team is already dead. Danny has shown up the team fight. Quadra kill, penta kill. Danny shows up to clean it at the end.
However, the team would face TL in the finals, ending their first competitive tournament together as a roster with a 2nd place finish. The spring split following the lock-in tournament did not start nearly as well for EG. The team started 2-5, but through the consistent play of the veterans on the team, a maturing JoJo and a more consistent Danny, the team fought back with a 7-4 record to end the season, and secured a 4th place finish after beating FlyQuest in the tiebreaker match. They would face Team Liquid in the playoffs, and Danny once again was the star, when AG had no one else to fall back on. But this time, it wasn't enough. Evil Geniuses were knocked down to the losers bracket despite Danny's best efforts. The loss to Liquid and the overall fan expectations must have been difficult on Danny in particular. We wouldn't know the extent of it at the time, but Danny from the creation of the 2022 lineup was a player whose particular mental health was a serious consideration within the team. And EG by all accounts seemed to understand and accept that fact, making the environment for Danny as inviting and the least stressful it could possibly be. With that backing behind him, he showed up on stage in incredible form, putting on teamfighting masterclasses after teamfighting masterclasses. He was even crowned MVP in their 3-1 series win versus FlyQuest to start their lower bracket run. But that was nothing compared to what was to come. The team went on to dominate the rest of the competition, 3-0ing Cloud9, Team Liquid.
G4 no flash. Okay. They're stuck a bit. They're just gonna play for Baron. No flash done. Oh, nice! Oh. Cookie. Okay, nice. Slow down, Danny. Chill. Yeah. Nice, you got one. Oh, nice! Yes! Top. Yes! You're top. We can go top this.
And 100 Thieves. And in both series against Team Liquid and then in the finals, Danny was given the MVP of the series. So that's 3 MVP performances in a single playoffs after only playing 1 split prior to this. It was simply incredible. Danny went from a promising prospect to usurping his own prodigal teammate JoJo for a while. He was the class of the ADCs in North America, particularly when it came to teamfighting. And for once, heading to MSI, NA fans had a North American player to be excited about. But that's when things started to take a turn. Community pressure and analyst expectations no doubt added extreme pressure on the young shoulders of Danny. But the main issue was the major shift in the environment. The tournament held in Korea was a shock to Danny's system. And to go along with that, EG chose not to send anyone from its performance staff to MSI with the players, including the single performance staff member who is normally on site with the players all week. And these factors were absolutely felt and most definitely evident in Danny's play on the Rift. The young AD carry had less than a spectacular first international tournament. But that, compounded with those environmental factors and post-game community backlash, led to his infamous tweet where he stated that he was glad the team was eliminated. Things got worse before they got better. In fact, they never really got better at all. Although the team maintained solid performances in NA, behind the scenes, everything was falling apart. Danny began isolating himself, started showing up late to scrims, and his play dipped as well. And despite these struggles, upper management were persistent on Danny continuing to play, as his brand and play had garnered incredible brand recognition for AG. With this in mind, Danny agreed to play for the team to help them qualify for Worlds. In the playoffs, a grueling 5-game series against TSM sent the young AG star into a spiral. With the myriad of technical issues throughout the series and the sheer length of time spent playing, Danny was reportedly in no condition to continue playing. But upper management persisted that he continue playing in his upcoming series against Team Liquid, even requesting the head coach, a friend of Danny, to convince him to play. The request was rejected, but Danny still played. Despite the fact that he was targeted in-game by TL, Danny put on an admirable final performance for EG as Danny would not play in their match against 100 Thieves, which the team barely lost.
Are the ones to build them. They try to defend. JoJo's running away. It's only 2 left again. They try to deny a little bit longer, but they will not get it. They're stuck back in the fountain. Vengeance is mine. Saith the team, and they're going to the final.
It was no question that Danny's presence in that series could have easily swung the pendulum in Evil Genius's favor, but the damage done to his mental health was already too great. Danny did not play with EG at Worlds, instead opting to return to his family and even seek medical advice. It had gotten so bad that an MD even recommended hospitalization. the young star recovered in silence outside the public view. And quite frankly, he's still recovering outside the public view. It's been several months at this point since we've heard from Danny. And with EG leaving the LCS, he's no longer even connected to the team as a streamer, even though he only ever streamed for them one time following the end of his tenure on the main team. And that's sadly really it. For a player that was touted as talented, to then be considered the next face of NA, to this, completely disappearing from the scene, not through disappointing play, but horrific circumstances behind the scenes. Now, there is something to be said for playing through rough environments. Sports is a competition, and it breeds tough environments, and being able to withstand that scrutiny and pressure is part of being a top-class competitor. So maybe this ending was in some ways inevitable for Danny. But it's undoubtedly sad to think that if things were handled differently, if upper management had more empathy, then maybe we could have gotten to see this young player flourish even more. At the time of his departure, he was one of the best team-fighting AD carries NA had ever seen. His ability to be at the right place at the right time to make game-winning plays was uncanny. That is, after all, why he was the pentakill god with 5 pentakills in a short career. If he had the opportunity to work on his laning, then who knows what heights he could have climbed to. But unfortunately, we will never know. And all we can do now is play the game of what if.
About it, honestly, it's just amazing. Just amazing. This little guy hiding behind is my Gnar one. This is my favorite out of the Gnar ones. This one hangs out with me at the office. And Dino hangs out with me at the